Frank.
Correct.
And my original Power Rangers that introduced me to the series was within Dino Thunder, and so I wanted to know, like, being on the set of Mighty Morphin, what was some of the, like, was there any special memories that you guys had together?
Jason David Frank?
Yes.
And myself?
Yes.
Oh, he was such a bad boy. He was always creating havoc. But no, he and I were best friends for a long time. We got along very well. He was just probably I would say the class clown of the group, and always had all of us laughing. He was just bad. I mean, he'd always, anything, if we did half the stuff that he did, we would get in trouble, we'd probably get fired. He always got away with a lot of stuff. I would say, I mean, I just had a lot of good memories in terms of, like, because we were friends, I babysat his kids. So he and his first wife would go out and we kids for them, and he likes to tell a story that killed his dog. It wasn't my fault. He and his then wife and sons were going to Hawaii, and they had just bought a puppy. They named it Nala after the Lion King, and they literally had the puppy for a week. And at the same time, they had exterminators come to their backyard and put gopher poison in the yard. And so the very first day, the day that they flew to Hawaii, I came to feed the dog, and the dog was just like laying there, dead, unfortunately. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And this is before we had really cell phones. So I had to wait like a whole week, and I knew he was going to blame me. So I had to have the dog, an autopsy done on the dog, figure out how the dog died, all kinds of crazy stuff. But so he loves to like to tell people that I killed his dog. It wasn't. That was one of the stories that maybe a lot of people don't particularly say. So thought I'd share that sad news with you. But, does that answer your question a little bit? Thank you for your question. Who else has a question? Yes.
What was it like being on the first and final season of the most recent version of Power Rangers?
So season 1 and season 3?
How did it feel to be? No, I mean season 1 and season 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how did it feel to? Yeah.
How did it feel to be on hold?
Yeah, to be at the beginning and end. Yeah.
I mean, obviously to be in the original cast is a huge gift. I'm so grateful to be in the original cast. We had so much fun filming the original series of Power Rangers. We had such great chemistry together, the 6 of us, so that was so much fun. I mean, I have so many great memories of that. And then to come 30 years later and film Cosmic Fury, that whole cast, they were in Dino Fury together, and so they were very welcoming to me as the odd man out coming in, and they were such great kids to work with, and I had a great time. I wish they maybe would have done something a little bit more with Billy. I mean, they did enough, I guess, but I just was hoping, if you're gonna bring me back, let's sort of make it a little bit more, but that was that. But I had fun. It's obviously a huge honor to get to start it and end it in season 3. So, and then right behind you in the green shirt, sir.
You got, not long after the series starts, you do that live stage show production. And the resulting traffic literally shuts down the better part of a freeway. What was your reaction?
It's so crazy. I'm going to answer. She's like, oh, you're good. I'm like, no.
What's going on? What's that about?
Alright, sorry guys. So, the question was about the live station.
Yes, it generated such traffic, it literally shuts down the better part of a nearby freeway.
Oh, you're talking about the one in Universal Studios?
Yes. What was your guys' reactions when you found out you would literally shut down a freeway?
Well, that's pretty hard to comprehend, especially in Los Angeles because there's so many people. We're used to traffic, but not having a parking lot for 8 miles in each direction on the 101. So wherever you guys live, if you just think about one of the highways that you have, just literally shut down. Everybody trying to get to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to see us, the Power Rangers, was, I don't know, I think, people, the producers would come to us and say, hey, you guys are the #1 kid show, not only in the US, but around the world kind of thing. And, you can't really comprehend what that means, but that was the first time I think we all understood, oh, this is a bigger deal than we're being led to believe. So it was pretty exciting, and then we came home that night after doing like 6 shows, and it was awesome because we were on the national news and all that kind of stuff. So does that answer your question?
Yes.
I thought when you were asking about the live stage show back in the 90s, they used some costume characters all around the U.S.
Yeah.
doing like a stage.
The actual
show. Maybe
stage
that
show,
was-
the way
that
you
was
mentioned
not- that was not
Universal.
us. They would use our voices, but it wasn't us. Go ahead.
In the same vein, so the first season, most of the action scenes were the original Japanese actors, but you started doing the new, more scenes as time went by.
Correct.
How was for you, the cast, to make this shift into acting more, doing more stunts and things like that?
I think we were all pretty much prepared for it because, even in the original, with the Japanese footage that we were using, whenever you saw us as civilians, it was always us doing our fights. So, and then we did maybe 1 or 2 fights in the costume to sort of help meld the Japanese footage to the American footage. So that was good. But then, after doing all that, I think as we moved into the 2nd and the 3rd season, it was just second nature, I guess, just like clockwork. So, it was a non-union show, and so we didn't have a lot of time because we were filming 4 episodes at once. So we'd show up at a location and they'd be like, okay, today you have a fight, you have 10 minutes, go work with the stunt team, you have 10 minutes, put it together, come back and we'd shoot it, and whatever we got, we got. So sometimes you'll see somebody slip and fall and that wasn't supposed to be in the fight, and then leave them that show. There's a lot of things like that where you're like, oh my gosh, what? Can we shoot it again? So yeah, that. Does that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little rumor going around that they consider, like the turbos, they consider Billy being the one in charge of, was actually the one creative building turbo, Zords and all that. Is there any truth to that?
That's a rumor. It could be true. I wasn't involved. I did Yost as the actor of Billy was not involved in that. I had left the show before any of that. So, a lot of people say Billy probably created the turbo power. It's possible. You just have to think when Billy went off to Aquatar. So, would he be building those from Aquatar, or where is Billy at that point? So, it's certainly, there was rumors that Billy was the Phantom Ranger too. That would have been cool. I don't know if that's true. It's certainly a possibility. Yeah. So, all those things are out there. And as I came back to Cosmic Fury, Billy came back to Cosmic Fury, he created the Cosmic, Cosmic Orbs and all that kind of stuff. So, Billy's got his hand in the Morphin Grid somehow. I don't know what that's about.
It would have been awesome.
Yeah, right. So, it's a rumor. At the end of the day. Go ahead.
I was wondering, since it was like a practically 30-year gap between your appearances in Billy, was it easy? Did you kind of slip back into the role?
I'm sorry, I got stuck on 30 years ago.
Indiscriminate amount of years. Indiscriminate amount of years. Because of that period of time, did you find it easy to kind of slip back into the role, or did you have some difficulty trying to adjust to okay, what would this character be like at this point in his life?
I don't know if I had difficulty with that, but I will say, again, they were giving me words and lines, and I was just like, oh my gosh, can Billy just talk normal for once? So, sometimes having to memorize bigger words than other actors is frustrating, because I just want to be able to have the character have a conversation, be more conversational. Like he's always more. What do they tell me? Like when we were filming Once and Always, there was a lot of stuff for my character, but they say to me, David, it's really difficult because you're just the exposition person. So it's like we need you to explain everything, and so I don't get those maybe heartfelt moments like I want. And then at the end of the day, when they're editing things, they're like, well, we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that. They edit down buildings. Employees. It's always been a frustration with me with the character. So, but I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was easy to go back into the character again. 200 episodes as that character, so kind of sticks in me. And I will say, I in real life am not a smart person, but playing Billy has made me smarter. Obviously, because he uses big words, and I would have to sit in my dressing room with a dictionary as he's talking about, and try to get it all together. So that's that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, actually.
You sure? Probably more than you wanted.
Too much exposition. Cut it, man.
It's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
So, speaking of, I guess, Johnny Youngboss in the past, you've come up with casting callers put out, they're looking for martial artists or gymnasts or dancers. What was your background that kind of got you in the story?
Well, when they first started auditioning for the original cast, the show was called Phantoms at that time. So, and there were breakdowns like, I originally auditioned for the role of Victor, which was Jason. And so for Victor, they wanted somebody at the time who looked like Jason Priestley, who was one of the stars of the original lineup too. And I had sideburns. I mean, I was like a dead ringer for the guy. And so I got called in just based on my picture. And at that time, then they asked you, are you a martial artist? Are you a gymnast? Are you dancing? I say I'm a gymnast. And so my gymnastics background, I was a competitive gymnast along with Amy Jo. She was as well for the most part. So that helped us get the role. And then Walter was a dancer, obviously, and I believe everybody else had some form of martial arts experience. So, yeah. How did that go? You sure? Are you a martial artist?
No.
Are you going to become a martial artist?
I would probably crack too much and be a martial artist.
Come on, you guys are catching up to me. Yes, sir.
So, like, pretty much everybody here grew up watching the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and everything, and it's more of a statement than a question. Also grew up with cerebral palsy. Got into martial arts, honestly, because of Power Rangers, which helped out with my cerebral palsy a little bit and everything, so it kind of helped it, not become so severe and everything, and was able to gain more control over
You
my
have a
muscles.
question for it?
But
maybe.
he was
That's
good.
fine, that's fine.
Seeing that smart kid who was kind of an outcast who became accepted as a ranger and everything like that, it kind of gave me almost an inspiration, because I was like, at school I was the kid who was just obsessed with professional wrestling and martial arts and combat sports, and everybody laughed at me having cerebral palsy. They were like, dude, you're never going to be able to do any of that stuff. You need to
Wow.
stuff like that. So I just want to thank you for your work on that and everything on the Power Rangers, and being an inspiration not only to me but to plenty of other people that may have been in my situation themselves that took heart in the TV show and what you guys did.
Well, it's so kind of you to say. I appreciate that. It's super humbling for me, and I know it's really humbling for all of us in the original cast. We've so many amazing stories, or stories like yours, where obviously for me getting to play Billy, I was the nerd, and people were like, I was the nerd, but I saw Billy picking up friends, or Billy was taking martial arts and gave me the confidence, or it inspired me to try martial arts, or it inspired me to go say hi to somebody and make friends. So, thank you for that. And that's always really awesome. And unfortunately, there's stories where people come from broken homes or bad households, and Power Rangers was like the one saving grace that they had, that always gave them confidence to try to go out and do things in the world. So that's been such an amazing thing that we, as the original cast and characters that we played, could never have expected. So it's such a huge reward in so many ways to know that these characters had such a amazing impact on people's lives. So I appreciate you sharing your story. I love to hear that martial arts helps you gain more strength. Obviously, it's very important and keep growing your muscles.
I was just gonna ask him what he liked being, like, what he liked about being the Blue Ranger.
That's a good question. What was your favorite episode of Power Rangers that you were part of?
My favorite episode?
Well, that's what I was gonna
I have
ask.
like 3, I think, and so I always say the food fight episode with Punchy Pig, just because we got to have a literal food fight on camera. And, you know, our food is behind the camera, so we would purposely cut food. That was amazing to do. That was fun. And then I think Power Ranger Punks is probably my second one, and that's where Billy and Kimberly became sort of the bullies of the school. So we had a lot of fun, Amy Jo and I filming that one, and I always like to say I take credit for the trend of sagging, which is when you let your pants hang down and everyone's hanging out. So Billy started that in the episode underwear's hanging out, and that wasn't even a thing until after that. So I take great pride in that. And then the third one was switching places, where Billy and Kimberly switch personalities. Billy's machine malfunctions, and Billy becomes Kimberly, and Kimberly becomes Billy. Those are probably my 3 top fun ones to film. Is that good? Or you wanted me to say another one?
I was just curious.
You just spew out. Well, no, I thought you were going to say one. Well, no, it should have been My Guy. That was the one. That was the one.
True Blue.
Yes.
Back in your younger days when I was a little girl and I used to watch the Power Rangers with my brother, I had a little crush on you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We all did.
I got trapped in on when you said in your younger days. And then the fact that you had a crush on me, that's really, that's a huge honor. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Is there a question, or you just want to tell me that you love me?
No!
It's okay. He's a Blue Ranger.
I'm good.
I appreciate that. I'd like to be blushing right now.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite Lord you were ever assigned to do?
I mean, I think I'm always gonna go OG with the Triceratops. Obviously, that's the most iconic by far. The wolf for the movie was pretty awesome, I think, and the unicorn, questionable. It's a weird twist of fate that I did a unicorn, but I did, and but it's fine. But I would say Triceratops. Is that okay?
Yeah,
You
that's,
sure?
I like the wolf personally.
Yeah.
I'm more like the, when y'all first got the powers, like the ninja costume
The
you
ninja.
got. I was like, oh man, I hope they keep those like forever. That looks so cool.
Really?
But then, the suits were cool too, but I like the.
I'll let you know that the Jetty outfits were not fun to wear. I don't know what they were thinking back in the day, but we got tied into those outfits. So it's like the big fluffy, for me, blue, and then they put a vest thing over that has the coin, and then the arms, you have to put on gloves and the boots, but the arms right here, I don't know what these things are called. Erasers. What are they called? Erasers. Erasers. Maybe, okay. Anyways, they were tied. So we had to stand like this, and they would tie us in. So now you're really tied into your outfit. You can't take it off without untying those. And then the boots, the back of the boots tied as well. So, and they were long boots almost to your knees. And so it was this whole process. And so once that's in, they're like, don't drink. Or you have to go to the bathroom a half hour at least. So that was a big pain in the butt. But they do look cool.
Yeah, they look
Often when things look cool, they're not fun. Even the movie, the 1995 movie, our suits look amazing. I think they even hold up better to today's CGI. You know, I hated it. No offense to the 2017 movie, but their CGI suits I just thought were awful. Not awful, yeah, not great. But I think our 1995 movie suits were really cool. But for the guys, they were like 35 to 40 pounds. For the girls, they were like around 20, 25 pounds to wear. So that's, you have that on all day, not fun, and you sweat because it's a prosthetic piece, and then they fall apart constantly. So in between takes, they're constantly gluing taking a hot glue gun to us, gluing our suit back together. But it looked amazing. And, but even more so, props to our stunt team that had to actually do the fights in those things. That was not a fun experience for them, but they were really amazing. Going forward here.
Actually, it's me. I have a question for you. In the beginning, did you ever think that, you would mean so much to multiple generations? You'd come to the point where, you're meeting parent and child, and they both have the admiration that they both have for you.
Well, it's so weird for the original cast now because not only do we have, first of all, there's you guys. You have parents, your parents sometimes watch it with you, but you also have grandparents that sometimes watch it with you, and now a lot of you have children. So now we have like this 4-generation span, which again makes me feel old, and I have to step down a little bit. But, so I mean it's a huge honor, and I love when somebody's grandma comes up to me and goes, "You're always my
You're such a sweet boy.
You're such a sweet boy." I'm like, you're only really me. But yeah, so it's a huge honor, and it's really cool that a lot of kids now somehow find the original cast on Netflix or the original Power Ranger episodes, and they really resonate with it. Trying to think of where I was.
I need to watch some with you.
Chicago. I'm going to say Chicago. It was amazing to me how many kids that were 6, 7, 8, 9 years old came dressed as the Blue Ranger, and I was just like, wow, it's really a humbling thing. It's really awesome that it does go through so many generations. So it's really cool. Thank you. I'm going to ask, do you have a question? Yes? Oh, no, you haven't. Sorry.
Any favorite villains?
That's a good question. I mean, I will say, the main villains, like Lord Zed and Reaver Repulsa, very iconic. I think it's hard to get past that, but Ivan Ooze was amazing. But if you're just talking about the monsters that we had to fight, I always feel like Eye Guy was one of the craziest. Not crazy, scariest for me, I feel. Just looking at that bodysuit, where it was just eyeballs. We have a lot of interesting monsters. I mean, we fought a lipstick, we fought a purse, we fought all kinds of crazy stuff. So, or villain?
Tell me in general sense.
Just in general sense, okay. All right, who else? Yes.
I have a question. Do you still do the karate jiu-jitsu and stuff you still do today?
I guess you won't hear when I said I'm old.
People your age that are still doing it, I was asking.
I never really truly did karate. I only did television martial arts, so that's just like.
So you never were really into martial
I
arts?
was a gymnast.
A gymnast?
I was curious to know about that, too.
I do not participate in that anymore. My body can't handle the back bends and
I could understand that.
the way that we land on our knees or our ankles.
Was any of your coworkers in, like the other Rangers, were they in martial arts at all?
Yeah, I think I sort of said this before if you weren't here. So Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, and myself, we were competitive gymnasts. Walter Jones was the dancer, and then the others, obviously Jason Frank and Austin St. John, amazing martial artists, black belts and beyond. And Twee was also a martial artist. So the crux of the 6 of us, yes. So 3 martial artists. I'll say Walter had some martial artists too, but mostly a dancer, and then Amy Jo and I were gymnasts.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine how the body.
Now, do you still do gymnastics and martial arts and dance?
I'm not coordinated enough. Let me explain. I can't even walk up the stairs without tripping.
I'm in your boat now too.
So you kind of already answered my question in part, but I was wondering what suit was your favorite, either form or function?
I mean, I will say the movie suit, I think, looks the coolest. The television suit is the most fun. The ninja suit, you've heard my story, my trauma. So I think that's the 3 suits I have, right? Yeah, that's it. So I would go with television suit for comfort, movie suit for look, ninjetti suit for whatever, I don't know. Really good sleeper. I didn't get it, so. Yes.
Have you played any of the Power Rangers video games, such as Alpha and Red?
I did. I was at San Diego Comic Con, and the people that put out the video game wanted me to come to their booth and play it with fans. So I did, but I wasn't really thinking. I was in my competitive thinking mode. The first person I played was a 9-year-old kid. I beat him, and he started crying. And I was like, oh, he should have been on.
He should be what? I'll be honest.
I felt so bad after that. I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I let people win. But I really feel, I still feel traumatized by that experience. To see this poor little kid win. Because it reminded me when I was in kindergarten, I don't know what they call it, but it's sort of towards the end of school, and you have a little competition day with everybody in your classroom, and you know, you do hula hoop and you jump rope, and I was walking on, I don't even know, but just say you took 2 large cans and you attach string to it, and then you walk on the can, and then you finish line. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna win this, and I didn't win, and I cried because I didn't win. And it was really, I don't know why it was so traumatic. Anyways, when I saw that kid crying when he didn't win the video game, I was like, it took me right back to that. I was like, oh no, I feel so bad. I apologize, but he didn't want to hear it. He had moved on. So. Yes.
So I saw a video. I can't remember if you were in it or not, but Austin John and Walter Jones was in it, and they were talking about Power Rangers just became the big hit, right? Like, but it was like you guys were like sitting around, I guess, waiting for the producers and directors to tell you what's next and all that. Then they came up and told you, "Hey, Power Rangers #1 on the TV show," but it was like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And Austin John goes, "Oh, really? That's cool. Can we go home now?" Like, what was going through your thoughts about that? Like, do you remember that? Like, it was like really late. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, I don't think it was at 12 or 1, like Austin said. Let's put that out there. We did work 12 to 15-hour days, so we worked long days. And so maybe, yeah, they probably did come to us at the end of a long day and said, hey, by the way, like maybe the first time that we had hit #1, they'd probably come to us and said that, hey, you guys are the #1 kid show. So, yeah, again, like I said earlier, like, they would tell us that a lot, but it just never registered what that meant until we went to Universal Studios and shut down the freeway in Los Angeles. And Universal Studios, still to this day, they had to close the doors to Universal Studios because they were at capacity by within 3 hours. And so, like, you know, they had to stop letting people into Universal Studios, which is also unheard of. So that was a crazy day.
Like, what was going through your mind, like, when they told you that? What was going through your mind? Because he said it was, like, super late, you know what?
For me, I can only speak for me, I couldn't comprehend what that meant. So, I was just like, okay. That's all. Right. Yes.
Do you have any keepsakes that you kept from the, like, 7 shows and everything?
You know, back in the day, we weren't really smart enough to take things. We didn't know that the show would have this kind of a legacy. Again, so but I will say, even though I just complained and made a whole rant about the ninjetti suit, on our final day of filming the movie, Jason, David, Frank, and I, anyways, we had to fly from Australia to New York to go do press, and so which is it's 14 hours to Los Angeles, and then another 5 hours. You get a 2-hour layover. It takes 5 hours to New York, so it was a long span. But anyway, on our final day of filming, only Jason and I were getting on this flight. He said, "Hey, dude, just put your ninjetti outfit in your suit." And everyone else, he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking mine. Take yours." And I was like, "Okay, I think he just wanted to get. Yeah, he didn't want to get in trouble by himself." So, anyways, we put our ninjetti outfits in our suitcase, and we were taken straight to the airport. Got on the plane. There's nothing that they can do at that point, and that was it. So I do have my original ninjetti outfit from the movie hanging in my spare bedroom closet. So I kept that all these years. There were other things over the years. There was an episode when a girl had a crush on Billy, and they were sort of teasing that Billy was going to be the Gold Ranger, so she made like a gold statue of Billy. They gave me that, and I tried to carry it around. Again, we're talking 30 years, but I would say around year 22, the arm, he's posed like this, the arm broke off, and so I was like, ah, that's a bummer. And then there was also one of the first episodes that we filmed. Trini has a cousin named Sylvia, and it's with Pineapple the Clown, and she gets turned into cardboard, and they did that for Billy too. I don't think that ever made it into the episode. It was in a PSA for sure. But anyways, I have this cardboard cutout, life-size cutout of myself. But again, after 22 years, at one point, I'm standing like this, the pinky broke off, and something else broke off, and so you just have to get rid of it. But those would be the only things that I really kept. So my Ninjetti outfit I still have. I also did take in the 1995 movie when Zordon's tube is destroyed, you can only get that crystal. I took some of the crystals out of that. That's it. I was foolish. The very first Comic-Con I did was with Jason David Frank. I didn't know what to expect, and I just always used to think I was a giver. And so I took my original movie script, and in a room like this, I was like, okay, whoever asked me the best question, you're gonna get this. And so I gave somebody my movie script. They probably didn't want it. They probably don't even know what they're holding on to if they still have it. So, but I kind of regret giving that away. But that's about it.
It's funny you should mention Jason David Frank, because that's actually where I got the question from, because I caught him in a panel in Miami years and years ago.
Yeah.
And he kept talking about all the stuff he can stockpile,
Yeah,
snacks.
I started this conversation with saying he was a bad boy.
Yeah.
But he was also probably one of the smartest people I know. So he took a lot. He took a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I got an opportunity to see him just before it happened. I'm so glad I decided to make that trip down. I am so happy I did.
I'm
I
glad.
got my dagger signed.
Awesome. All right. Any more questions? Yes.
Will you tell the story about the Jason David Frank guy and the peanut butter sandwich?
You want to hear that story?
Would that be okay? I don't know if some people has heard that, but
You really want to know how bad Jason David Frank is? Here I am. I think Jason David Frank and I are the best of friends. Again, I babysit his kids. I do anything he asks me to do. So for whatever reason, this is a Billy episode. I think I'm stuck on set and I'm starving. I can't get off set, so I'm just like, hey, can somebody make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And Jason's like, oh yeah, I can do. So he goes and makes me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and unbeknownst to me, he stuck a fly in it. And
Oh.
I was like on set, I was like eating, I ate the whole sandwich, and then he's like laughing, and I'm like, why are you laughing, dude? He's like, because I stuck a fly in it. You just ate a fly.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my best friend.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't get sick. I didn't get maggots or. It was a good time. Good cat. Yes.
So, with having been Billy, the smart guy, and you told the story of how you were having to look up all these words that you didn't understand,
Yep.
how difficult was it for you to confidently convey that you knew what you were talking about? Because with a voice actor, it's easy. They can just use the tone, but as a live action actor, you have to mirror voice and face.
Right.
How hard was that?
Sometimes it was really hard. There were times where I would panic right before they say action. But I feel confident in saying full extension, full extension. Some of those are words I had no. When I first saw those words, I was like, wait, what is Billy saying? Full extension, multifunctional, automaton. So that was, it does take work, and I again would sit in my dressing room and say it over and over and over and over again, multiple ways, and all that. So.
And kind of a follow-up to that,
Yep.
how did you have to do multiple takes because you got tongue tied on how many?
No, I was a professional. No, I actually was as professional as you could be, and we would always do multiple takes regardless of the way that you film on television. Back in the day, they'd start with like a big wide shot like this, and you do the whole scene, and they film that, and then you just get it smaller, so then they do like a group shot. and then a 2-shot, and then your singles. So I had multiple times to get it right. You always want to make sure you get it right in your plus up. Answer your question?
Yeah.
Yes.
You were talking about your favorite board earlier, so it got me wondering, has anyone ever asked you to sign a toy representation of the Zord? In terms of things you signed in the past?
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys bring me some really wild stuff to sign. So, off the Megazord, the Triceratops, it's like this little thing, and they're like, hey, can you sign this? And it's like it's all rigid, crooked, it's just like, yeah. It's not my favorite thing to sign, but yeah, I sign it. I sign shoes, I've signed boobs.
Oh my god.
I signed all kinds of stuff. But yeah, a lot of the toys are just like beyond, there's so much stuff that they created in the 90s, so it's always interesting sometimes when people actually bring some of the original toys out to sign. So yeah, I've definitely signed Triceratops. And the bull. I don't think, I've signed one, maybe 2 unicorns. Alright, we have maybe 3 more minutes, so a couple more questions. If not, David? Yes.
And this kind of like feedbacks off of an earlier question, but when was the point when you and the rest of the cast just kind of like realized this isn't just a kid show, this is the biggest kid show in the entire world? And of course, later on, when did it finally hit you that like this is as big as it was, if not even bigger than it was when we did this?
So, I mean, again, I don't know that, for me personally, I don't know that I ever truly could comprehend how big the show was on a global level. Obviously, again, it was a previous thing, but that was a big deal, and that sort of helped us understand. But even after leaving the show, still didn't truly understand the impact until I started doing Comic-Con. And I would say sometimes that make me feel like what you're saying is, the first time I went to Brazil, it's crazy how the Brazilians love Power Rangers. And I mean, they are fanatical. They scream, it's like being you're like one of the Beatles or like Taylor Swift kind of thing. So and they try to grab you, and they do grab you, and they're like taking pictures, it's just wild. So that's kind of like, wow, I'm in Brazil and they're like this thing. But I will say some of the other things that take place are people travel great distances. So I've had, one of the ones that I love to talk about are these 2 twin girls. They were only 15 years old. This is probably like 8 or 9 years ago. They flew all the way from India with their father, just to meet Walter and I at C2E2. And so like that is crazy, and awesome, and humbling. And that, and this past, where were you, Joe? Maybe it was in Chicago. A guy traveled all the way from Pakistan just to meet us. And so, when people go to those lengths, it really puts it into perspective for us that this show really did have such an amazing influence on people's lives that they would travel those kind of distances just to meet us. And unfortunately, we can't sit here and talk to people for a whole hour or something like that. It's like, hi, how are you? Kind of thing. And so, I sometimes feel guilty when I know that people have come so far. I wish I could spend more time with them, because they just get those few moments, but they always seem happy just for those few moments. Even here, I know people travel 4 hours, 5 hours. I think somebody said 7 hours. So I don't take that lightly. That's a big deal. So I appreciate that people make those kind of sacrifices. Does that sort of answer your question? Okay. All right. Final question.
Has there been any more pranks, Jason Frank, or anybody has pulled on you, or any other pranks like you remember Jason Frank has? Because I heard he was a prankster, right? Has there been any more pranks like you remember that made you laugh? I mean, because I remember you saying.
I will say, yeah. Here's 2 more things I just this is my best friend. We were filming a movie in Australia called Power Rangers, the movie. And we had to go to first time. So there's all these megalithic rocks and there's ocean and all that kind of stuff. So we're staying at this motel basically, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And my room is on the second floor. And I go out of my balcony, and Jason David Frank slams my door shut and locks it, and walks out of my door. So I'm locked on my balcony, and I'm like, oh my god, do I jump?
Dang.
What am I gonna do? So I actually hang off my balcony, and I'm like, okay, David, you can do this. And I'm like, well, don't do this, because you're filming a movie. If you break your ankle or your foot, you're gonna get in so much trouble. And Jason won't get in trouble. Okay, so I'm hanging on my balcony, and so then I pull myself back up, and so I've been basically locked out there for 2 hours.
Ooh.
Until he finally came back and let me in. So that's Jason David. And then in that same thing, I think he was just really bad in the movie. We were traveling in our cast van, so the main cast vehicle. We were traveling to set, and I don't know what precipitated this, but Johnny climbed out of a window as we're driving and got on the roof, and then Jason shut the window. That person that's driving the van has no idea this is going on. So Johnny's trapped on top of the van, and the person's just driving down the road, and Johnny's like, panicking, and Jason's just laughing. And then, I don't remember how Johnny got back in the van. Eventually he got back in the van. He didn't die, he didn't fall off. But scary stuff. So there's your buddy, Jason. Enough dirt on him now?
Well, how did he pull did he pull a prank on Amy Johnson? Had her trapped in her dressing room or something? Like, because I remember you would talk about that in Huntsville, I think.
I don't know about Amy, not Amy Jo, but Catherine. No.
Maybe it was Catherine.
It wasn't Jason David Frank, it was Bolton's fault.
Maybe it was them. Maybe.
Catherine on her first day, as you know, coming on, she's from Australia, she doesn't know anybody. She went to set, and Vulcan Skull, Jason David, Paul Schreier, took all of her furniture out of her dressing room. So when she came back, she's like, oh my god, what's going on? All that stuff. And then she went back to set, and then when she came back, they took furniture from all over the studio and shoved it in her dressing room, so like she could barely open the door, and there was just all kinds of stuff in her dressing room.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, good times.
Good time. Thank you.
Guys, 100%.
Mr. Yost has to go, and this is my bucket list. If you guys don't know me, my name is Keith Smart. I'm the co-chair. I want you guys to give this man a round of applause.
I don't take you lightly, and I know the original cast, we don't take you lightly at all. So, you know, we're very indebted to you for keeping the franchise alive. So thank you all. Okay?
Thank you.